Name, place, sing. Check it out. Monday, January, London, Mr. M.
Yeah, we call them proper.
Cat, dog, boy, girl, apple, car.
Yeah, we call them common.
He, she, us, them, it, we.
Yeah, we call these pronouns.
Oh no, did you hear that? It's about to go down. When I say noun, you say name, place, sing. Noun, name, place, sing. When I say noun, you say name, place, sing. Noun, name, place, sing. Name, place, sing. Name, place, when I say noun, you say name, place, sing. Noun, name, place, sing. When I say noun, you say name, place, sing. Noun, name, place, sing. Name, place, sing. It's a name, place, sing. When I say noun, you say name, place, thing. That's how it works. The lyrics in the song help you with the grammar. And to do that today, you need three things. One, your pencil, your pen, and some paper or a tablet. Two, you need to have your thinking cap on. Check mine out, it says MC Grammar. That means you're ready to focus and concentrate on the lesson. And three, you need to keep it positive. That means you have a positive mindset. You always think, do you know what? I can do this. I might not be able to do it yet, or I can't do it yet, but I will in the future. And you understand that mistakes are part of learning. Listen, I make mistakes all the time. You'll see plenty on the show today, trust me. All right, speaking of the show, it's time to get down to the learning. Let's take it to the board. So we break down the song on the board so you understand what the lyrics mean in relation to the learning objective. So the noun song says, when I say noun, you say name, place, thing. So a noun is a name, place, or a thing. Now we've got up there, we've got a cat, apple, we've got London and a car. All of those are nouns. So now you know what a noun is. It's a name, place, or thing. Use the song to help you. Now, let me tell you a couple of things though. English is quite tough, but don't worry. Because the second thing I've got for you is the fact that we're going to break it down and make it a lot more simple by adding some more lyrics. Check this one out. So in the song it then goes on to say, Monday, January, London, Mr. M, yeah, we call them proper. That is our first type of noun we're going to be looking at today, a proper noun. Proper nouns need capital letters. They're names of specific things, places, people, that have to have a capital letter. So we use Monday, day of the week, January, month of the year. We used to say London in the song, which is the name of a place. You could say a country, a city, a town, a continent, for example. And also we say Mr. M, which is the person's name, me, Mr. M, aka MC Grandma. We've got Leon behind the camera. We need capital letters or uppercase letters for any proper nouns. And that's how you remember proper nouns. Use the song. Okay, Monday, January, London, Mr. M, yeah, we call them proper. Cool, you guys, you're ready. You're gonna have a go at this. Time for the mic check. Remember, these lessons will be on our channel, so if you need to pause at any time to reflect, give yourself a bit of space for learning, just do that. All right, so up here we've got a passage. It reads, on Wednesday, Mr. M went live on YouTube, broadcasting from London. Now, the situation we're in here, we have some proper nouns that do not have capital letters. Shock. What do you have to do? You have to find the proper nouns and give them that uppercase or capital letter. Okay, that's your task. In a moment, I'm going to disappear for about 30 seconds to a minute, and you guys are going to have a go at this. So find those proper nouns and then give them the capital letter they deserve, because they are proper nouns. Not just a noun, a proper noun. Remember the song, Monday, January, London, Mr. M. That will help you. All right, your time to shine. I'm going to disappear now. And we're back. How did you do? Here are my answers. So let's kick it off. I did throw a wild card in there. The first word needs a capital letter because that kicks off the sentence. You should know that. If you don't know that, now you know the start of every sentence needs that capital letter. Then after that, we've got Wednesday, a day. In the song, I use Monday. Then it moves on to Mr. M, me. I need a capital letter because I'm a name, a specific name. Then on to YouTube. That's a tough one. YouTube, we've got a capital letter in the middle of a word. Quite a tricky one, but it's a specific name. So you need that as well. And then the last one is London, the specific name of a place. So how did you do? There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 answers there. Did you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7? Listen, if you didn't get any, it does not matter. Because now you know how to use proper nouns. And now you've got the answers. You can always go back on this lesson and do it again. Right, so we understand a noun is a name, place, or thing. We've used a song to work out what proper nouns are. Let's move on to our second noun, common nouns, by taking it to the board. Let's go. So the song then moves on and says cat, dog, boy, girl, apple, car. Yeah, we call them common. So our second noun is a common noun. These are nouns that do not need a capital letter. So when you find a place or a thing that doesn't need a capital letter, or you're naming an item, for example, a cat, a dog, a boy, a girl, apple, car, that does not need a capital letter, it's a common noun. They're common, they're all around us. They don't deserve that capital letter. They're not specific. Think of it that way. And that's how you work out common nouns using the song and the examples in the song. So if you ever get stuck, go back to those lyrics, cat, dog, boy, girl, apple, car, yeah, we call them common. And you'll be in a good position to understand. Cool? All right, so now you're going to have a go with your mic check. Check this out. This time we have another passage. It reads, the teacher spoke to the kids, you, using his microphone, I am, and his computer. And that's exactly how we broadcast to you, through the microphone and the computer. So what's your task? You have to find the common nouns. Find the common nouns. Now you could do this by writing them down on your pad or just saying them out loud. I just want to know that you can recognize what a noun is, a name, place, thing, and you know what a common noun is. Those nouns that do not need a capital letter. All right, your time to shine. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. And we're back. Here are the answers. Let's break it down. So we've got the teacher. A teacher is a common noun. They're all around you, hopefully in your school. Your teacher's a common noun. You've got spoke to the kids. That's you guys. Kids are common noun there. Using his microphone. That's a thing. Doesn't deserve a capital letter. And then finally, computer. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 answers there. How did you do? Let us know in the comments. Or just give us a like if you enjoyed that activity as well. Okay, cool. So you now know about proper nouns that need a capital letter. Monday, January, London, Mr. M. You know about common nouns, cat, dog, boy, girl, apple, car. Yeah, we call them common. It's time to move on to our third and final noun in this lesson, which is the pronoun. Let's take it to the board. In the song it says he, she, us, them, it, we. Yeah, we call these pronouns. Pronouns. They are professional. Do you know what they're professional at doing? Replacing other nouns. And it says there, note, they are often used to take the place of a noun. Why? Sometimes writing becomes a little bit repetitive and a bit boring if you keep using the same noun. For example, MC Grammar spoke to the children. Then MC Grammar set them an activity. Then MC Grammar rapped a song. After MC Grammar did a song, he read a book. It becomes a bit boring, and we can replace MC Grammar with a pronoun, such as he, and book with it. So pronouns, I think of them as professionals that step in like substitutes to make your writing a little less repetitive and not really boring anymore, you know? then make it a little bit more understandable for your reader so they stay switched on for your whole piece of text. Okay, cool. So using the song, he, she, us, them, it, we, they give you examples of pronouns that you could just put in there as those substitutions. Okay, do you get it? There's a song helping you again. Now it's time for you to have a go at this with the last mic check. Let's go. So this time we have a passage. It gets a bit boring, I'm not going to lie to you. It reads, MC Grammar picked up the microphone. Then MC Grammar started rapping into the microphone. A little bit boring. My question to you is, can you replace the underlined words with pronouns to make this slightly more interesting and a little less repetitive? That is your task. And how would you replace them? With those professional substitutes called the pronouns. He, she, us, them, it, we. Yeah, we call these pronouns. There's that song helping you again. Okay, your time to shine. This is your third and final mic check of the session. Good luck. And we're back. So, how did you do? So for MC Grammar, I replaced MC Grammar with a pronoun, he. And the last one, microphone, I replaced it with the pronoun, it. You notice I had to cross out the word the, because otherwise it read starting rapping into the it. So I did not need the word the, that determined. I got rid of it and used the pronoun it. There you go. Did you understand that? If you don't understand this, go back on the lesson, listen to the song again, and I'm telling you, you'll get it. Okay, in your own time, you can always pause and watch this video on our channel /MC Grammar TV, and this will give you the tips and tricks to understand your grammar and move forward in a positive direction. Okay, let's try this now. If you're enjoying this lesson live right now, how about you give us a like so we can spread and share this word to more subscribers about the positive message and this fun way of learning grammar. So on the count of three, I'm going to count to three, and then we're all going to hit that like button. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Did you do it? I hope so. Did they do it, Leon?
I reckon they did.
I reckon they did.
N-O-U-N.
Name, place, sing.
N-O-U-N. Check it out. Monday, January, London, Mr. M.
Yeah, we call them proper.
Cat, dog, boy, girl, apple, car.
Yeah, we call them common.
He, she, us, them, it, we.
Yeah, we call these pronouns.
Oh no, did you hear that? It's about to go down. When I say now, you say name, place, sing. Now,
Name, place, sing.
when I say now, you say name, place, sing. Now,
Name, place, sing.
name, place, sing. Now, when I say now, you say name, place, sing. Now,
Name, place, sing.
when I say now, you say name, place, sing. Now,
Name, place, sing. Name, place, sing.
it's a name, place,
Name, place,
sing.
sing.
Hey, don't go anywhere. More MC Grammar is coming up right now.
Check it out. Monday. Go again. Check it out. Let me tell you what an adjective is. It's a word that modifies a noun, adding details so why don't we look closer now? For example, the tall castle, the old parcel, or the little rascal. Notice what the words do suddenly to your writing. Adjectives describe nouns to make them more exciting. They link on to your noun, that's where they belong. So when you think of adjectives, remember this song. Come on. Go again.
So, we've played the song, you've rapped along. Now we break down the lyrics to understand what an adjective is. And it says in the song, let me tell you what an adjective is. It's a word that modifies a noun. And that's what adjectives do. They modify nouns, which basically means they add description and detail. So for example, here we've got the tall castle. Then you've got the old parcel. Then you've got a picture of me. You could describe me as, I don't know, cool teacher. That would be nice. Totally up to you guys, but you could pick adjectives to add to these nouns to add detail. They modify the noun, they change it by adding description. Cool, check out the other slide here, because here are some more of the lyrics talking about how adjectives make your writing more exciting, and they do. They ramp it up for the reader, get them excited when they're reading. We've got examples here from the song, Tall Castle, Old Parcel, and for some reason a picture of me next to the little rascal. I did not put that there, but it is what it is. Let's roll again. You can see we can break these adjectives down into two different sections. One based on appearance, what something looks like. So we've got colour, shape, material and age, and also after that we've got opinion. And that's how you feel about a noun, how you feel about something. So for example, it might be something that you like. You might say delicious. Something you don't like, that's horrible. That's your opinion to describe those nouns. So adjectives modify nouns. So find those nouns, use your noun song, name, place, thing. And then after that, what word modifies, adds detail to that noun. You guys get it, you're ready to learn. It's time for your mic check. So for this first mic check, I've got a small passage of writing. It reads, sending a big shout out to my amazing crew watching on this fabulous Friday. So in that passage, I have nouns and I have some adjectives. Your job is to find the adjectives. Now my top tip is find the noun first, the N-O-U-N, name, place, thing, and then look for that word that is adding detail or modifying that noun to give it that description. I'm going to disappear in about 3 seconds and then you're going to be in your zone learning. Can you find those adjectives? I bet you can. I'm going now. Your time to shine. 1, 2, 3. And we're back with the answers. How did you get on? So there was 4 there. Did you get 1, 2, 3, 4? It does not matter. Remember, all part of the learning process. So the first one says sending a big, as an adjective, shout out. I'm describing the type of shout out I'm sending to the crew, and I've described those as amazing. Those guys, the crew. That's you, my grammar gang. Watching on this fabulous Friday. So there's actually 3 answers there, not 4. Anyway, 3 answers. How did you do? Fabulous Friday. We've also got a bit of alliteration going on there. If you found that, you know what, I could do that pretty easy, I found that quite easy, there's also an extension task down the bottom that says, can you find synonyms for any of those adjectives I've used? So for example, another word for fabulous or another word for amazing. That could be your extension task. If you want to have a go at this again, that's how you could extend the task some more. So how did you do? Did you find 1, 2, 3? Don't worry if you didn't find any. Listen, I'm telling you, this is all part of the process. Take your time. Create your learning space in your environment, learn through the lessons, go back on the songs again, and trust me, you will get there in the end. I believe in you, and so does Leon, right? Leon, you believe in them too.
Completely.
Of course he does. All right, so let's move on to your second task, another mic check. Okay, this time I've taken an extract from one of my favourite books of all time, written by Roald Dahl. It's called Matilda. If you haven't read it, I really recommend reading it. So it reads here, she had an obstinate chin, a cruel mouth and small arrogant eyes. Your task again is to find those adjectives. Now, this time for the extension or the challenge is, can you group them based on appearance and opinion? That's an extension. So task 1, can you find the adjectives in this extract of writing from Roald Dahl. If you can, great job. If you want to challenge yourself, try and group them based on appearance or opinion. Can you separate them? If they need separating, that is. All right, I'm going to disappear. It's your time to shine. 3, 2, 1. See you in a while. And here we are with the answers. So this time we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and a chance to learn some new vocabulary as well. This is a challenge for you. If you don't know what those words mean, grab a dictionary, you can Google them and expand your vocabulary as well. So hopefully you found the nouns first. We had chin, we had mouth, and we had eyes, and then from there, once you had those nouns, you could then easily find the adjectives. If you didn't, don't worry, it will come in time. Just remember, go back to the song. Let me tell you what an adjective is. It's a word that modifies a noun, adding detail, so why don't we look closer now? Once you have those lyrics in your mind, you'll always be able to pull from them to give you that sense of security and understanding when you ask questions like this. Right, we are ready to move on to our super duper tough task. It's not that tough, you guys are gonna smash it. This is the Gram Slam. Before we do that, just a quick reminder. Looking at this noun here, apple, I really want you to choose adjectives that really relate to the word we're looking at. So this apple here, I can look at it and see it's red. I'm going to choose that adjective based on colour. Then one on opinion, I've got delicious apple. Then after that, I've gone for sweet and crunchy. That's my opinion. And crunchy is probably about its appearance. It's quite a crunchy one, and the taste actually as well. So I've chosen adjectives that suit my noun. So before we begin the task for the Gram Slam, I really want you to think about choosing words that suit the pictures I'm about to show you and the words. It's about choosing those appropriate adjectives, not just anything that doesn't relate to the noun. Cool, all right, let's show the next one then. Here we go. So, your time to shine. We've got two pictures. We've got a dragon. Wow, it looks pretty scary. Very scary actually. And we've got a forest. This one looks quite enchanting. Like an enchanted forest. It looks quite mysterious. It doesn't look very threatening to me. It's the type of place I'd like to go to. Lots of magic would happen in there, I reckon. Your task here is, can you add some adjectives to describe these pictures, to describe the dragon and describe the forest? Now, it's up to you what you do here. You could just choose one adjective if you want, or you can use more than one adjective. You could even write a sentence or a short passage. You can pause this video and get stuck in with a story if you wish. This might be the spark that ignites that writing. It's totally up to you how far you stretch this. I just want you to know and want to see how you can link your adjectives to nouns and recognize them in a sentence. All right, I'm going to disappear, and then when we come back, I'll show you some of my examples that will hopefully help you with your writing too. If you want to put any comments, you can, and show us your examples of your adjectives and noun combinations of these pictures. That would be fantastic too. Or send your work in to hello@mcgrammarshow.com. We'd love to see your writing, and of course we will share it on our Thursday shout out show. Great opportunity right now to give it a like. Actually, if you press the like button right now, this is going to spread and share our message far and wide about teaching grammar through music and fun methods just like this. So hit that like and a count of 3. You ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Did you do it? You did. Thanks so much. Okay, cool. Right, your time to shine. Can you describe the dragon and the forest? Off we go. That is such a cool task, isn't it? You can really get into the details about the dragon and the forest. If you need a bit more time, you can pause the video now and just have a go. Get stuck into the writing. Write us a story. Send us the story in to hello@mcgrammarshow.com. We want to see your writing. Okay, so there are no answers to this because you can write. You can describe your dragon as how you want to describe your dragon and your forest. I've just given you some examples here. So I've started off with a piercing glare. The way the dragon looks at you. You've also got the blood red claws. There we've got a compound adjective. We've got two words that come together and we use a hyphen to bring them together to create one word. You know, there's lots of compound adjectives out there you can choose. Off-putting, foul-smelling, good-looking as well. You might choose that one. Okay, so and then I actually create a sentence. I'm going to read it now. It says, like a wild whip, his thick thrashing tail smashed through the helpless knight's shield. How cool is that? So I got stuck into my writing, adding those adjectives to make my writing more exciting and give it that detail. That's what you need to do with your writing. Link them to the noun to modify those nouns and create your opinion of how your writing should unfold.
Go again. Let me tell you what an adjective is. It's a word that modifies a noun, adding details, so why don't we look closer now? For example, the tall castle, the old parcel, or the little rascal. Notice what the words do suddenly to your writing. Adjectives describe nouns to make them more exciting. They link on to your noun, that's where they belong. So when you think of adjectives, remember this song. Come on.
Hey, don't go anywhere. More MC Grammar is coming up right now.
Verbs are action, being, doing words. Verbs are action, being, doing words. Verbs are action, being, doing words. Verbs are action, being. MC Grammar! Have you heard of a word called a verb in a sentence? It's needed to work. Yeah. Let's focus on work for a second, cause verbs are being doing words. Yeah. Lights, camera, action in a sentence, find the action word. Yeah. If you can, then you can discover the three different forms of verb. Modal. Can, can't, could, may, might, would, mustn't. Auxiliary. Is, am, was, were, has, had, does, did. Main. Sing, spin, think, drink, dance, shake, and freeze. Wait. Now you know about verbs, let's do it again. Have you heard of a word called a verb in a sentence? It's needed to work. Yeah. Let's focus on work for a second, cause verbs are being doing words. Yeah. Lights, camera, action in a sentence, find the action word. Yeah. If you can, then you can discover the three different forms of verbs. Yeah.
Were you rapping along to that one? How cool is that track? I love it. It's got a nice bounce to it too. So before we get stuck into the music, remember you need three things today. Your pen, pencil, paper, or a tablet. You need your thinking cap on, like here, to get you focused and to concentrate. And three, you need to have a positive mindset. That means you're cool with making mistakes and you know it's part of the learning process. You just can't do it yet. You don't know the answer yet, but you will if you listen and learn. Speaking of learning, this is the verb lesson, so let's take it to the board. So we've played the song, you've rapped along, now it's time to break down those lyrics. Let's kick it off with the first one. It says, have you heard of a word called a verb in a sentence? It's needed to work. So every sentence or complete thought needs a verb for it to work. Then after that, it says, because verbs are being doing words. So a verb is a being or doing word. Then after that goes, lights, camera, action. In a sentence, find the action word. So from the three lyrics, we know that a sentence needs a verb. Okay, it's a being doing word, and also it brings the action to a sentence. So any sentence we look at, we're going to try and focus on the word that brings the action, that is a being word or a doing word. For example, look at these pictures here. So MC Grammar here is rapping. Could be singing as well, speaking. The next one with the arms folded, he might be posing, thinking, pondering. Then we've got the stereo, listening, jamming, chilling. And the last one looks like he's leaning. Yeah, granted he's leaning on nothing. I don't know how that works. So it could be hovering, levitating. Cool, right. So now we understand what a verb is. Let's check your understanding. Remember, think about action. Those words that tell you about the being or doing in the sentence. Let's have a go at this with your mic check. Our first mic check, your time to shine, your time to have a go and see how well you understand what a verb is. So building on lesson 1 and 2 on adjectives, we're going to use this combination. This time you're going to add a verb. Now there are 3 challenges for you to have a go at based on what you feel comfortable with. So for the first one, it says lonely lizard, and then you're going to add a verb that adds information, the action about that lonely lizard. What's it doing? The second example, we just got the noun this time, a warrior. You're going to describe the warrior by adding an adjective and then our verb. What's the warrior doing? Finally, for the third challenge, if you're up for it, you can add 2 adjectives here, then the noun and a verb. So it could be about anything you want it to be about. Your favorite football player, yourself, a singer, a rapper, MC Grammar, this lesson, you name it. Just remember, on this occasion, we're trying to add those verbs to those combinations there. If you want to, you can add the adjectives and noun too if you want to stretch your brain and take it to the next level. I'm going to disappear for about 30 seconds to a minute and then we'll come back, have a look at some of my examples. Your time to shine, go for it. I bet you guys smashed it. Let's take a look at my answers right now and you can compare at home. Remember, at any occasion you can pause this clip, give yourself a bit more space and time to attack the learning as well if you wish to, if you're watching this on a repeat. Right, okay, so the first example I had the lonely lizard lingered. I really like the fact that we had the alliteration going on there, that same sound in a row. So I had the lonely lizard lingered. I wonder why it's lingering. And then after this, I've gone for the exhausted warrior. A lot of people might have put something like valiant or brave, courageous. I've gone with exhausted warrior. And what's he doing? This time he's surrendering, because he's so tired. Then after that, for my list of adjectives, I've gone for solid, tall, wall, crumbled. Wow, what's going on here? Is there some form of beast or dragon involved that the warrior's been fighting and now the warrior's surrendering, the lizard is lingering and the wall is crumbling? So that was my effort. How did you guys get on? Remember, it's all about just moving into the process now where you can add a verb to these combinations. That's what we're looking out for. So you might have not got any right this on this occasion, but don't worry. It's all about practice. You can always watch the lesson again. Cool, right. It's time to go back to the board now for a little bit more learning. So as the song unfolds, it then moves into different types of verbs. So we have modal verbs, auxiliary verbs, and main verbs. So let's kick it off with the main verb. So it says sing, spin, think, drink, dance, shake, freeze, and wait. These are all those verbs you're used to using already in your sentence, the action ones that you can pick out. Then if we move into auxiliary verbs, these usually link on. Auxiliary verbs, and they've got is, am, was, were, has, had, does, and did. They usually link on to another verb. For example, Leon is running down the road. MC Grammar was rapping into the microphone. So they usually link on to the main verb. They can also be used with adjectives. We'll show you that in a moment. Our next verb is a modal verb, and in the song it says can, can't, could, may, might, would, mustn't. These refer to the probability, how likely something is to happen, and again they link on to other verbs often. So for example, I can sing a good song if you want me to. Or I might say, you can't run in the house, which I'm always saying to my kids. Or I wish I could fly through the clouds, soaring past the eagles and airplanes. Random sentence that was, but you can see how that modal verb adds on to the other verb. It links to tell someone explain the probability or the likelihood of it happening. Let's get into a little bit more detail now here. So using that example of the modal verb, I've got Leon can dance. You can see here, I've taken my main verb, dance, and then I brought in my modal verb to express how likely that is to be, or the probability, and Leon can dance for sure. You should see Leon is a great dancer. Let's now use an auxiliary verb. We can also use these. Let's move on, Leon, we go to the next one. With the auxiliary verb, we can also use these with adjectives as well to describe someone. So for example, he, auxiliary verb, is, and then add an adjective, amazing. Usually we're used to adjectives being before a noun. So for example, amazing Leon. On this occasion, if I want to say he is amazing, I can add the adjective after that auxiliary verb. And remember, we can also link those auxiliary verbs to the main verbs. He is running. He is dancing in the club. He's a good dancer. That's the moral of this lesson, I guess. Right, it's your time to have a go now. This is the second mic check. Let's go. Okay, second mic check. This is an open task here. I've given you a noun, a dragon. Yeah, a cool noun. There's that dragon. We had him in last lesson, didn't we, Leon, I think? We did, yes. Now, this time, I want you to choose an auxiliary verb and an adjective to describe that dragon. The dragon is, the dragon was. And the next one, I want you to grab a modal verb and a main verb. A modal verb and a main verb. Okay? So this is your task. Task is as follows. We'll repeat that again. Task 1, grab an auxiliary verb and an adjective to describe the dragon. Task 2 is grab a modal verb and a main verb, one of those ones we're used to using all the time to tell us what the dragon is doing. But link that modal verb in there as well about the likelihood and probability. Now, I've given you some modal verbs down the bottom there, and I've also given you some auxiliary verbs. The main verbs is up to you. I want you guys to use your imagination and include your vocabulary. Right, I'm going to disappear. Your time to shine. We'll see you soon. How did you do? Did you enjoy that task? Now here are some examples that I have written. And remember, this is just my mindset. This is what I'm thinking about the writing, my vocabulary. You might have something totally different, and that's cool, as long as you recognize the auxiliary verb, the main verb, and those modal verbs. So I have got, the dragon was seething. Now that means really, really angry. Now why? Well, I've explained in my next one here, because the dragon can't escape. So I've linked this back to my story that was going on before. The knight, although he was exhausted, he got back up and managed to capture the dragon and stick him in the dungeon. And that's why the dragon is seething, really angry, and he can't escape. So I've used the modal verb, can't escape. How did you guys do? Did you enjoy it? I bet you did. I'd love to see what you've come up with, and don't forget you can send all your answers to the next slide here. Pop it up now, you can see hello@mcgrammarshow.com. We love to feature your work on our Thursday shout out show, so send your work in to us, whether it's a picture of it, the actual writing, an email, please send it in and we will feature it on the show. Make sure you've got the permission of your parent or guardian first. Okay, we have come to the end of this episode 3, all about verbs. We've now got nouns, adjectives and verbs in the bank. If you haven't watched those episodes, go back onto our channel, youtube.com/mcgrammartv, and check them out. Remember, you can pause them at any point if you need a bit of space for that learning. We've had a great time learning with you again, Grammar Gang. Thank you so much for tuning in. From Leon and myself, what do we say, Leon? We say stay home, stay safe.
Keep reading.
Keep reading, keep rapping. And we're going to finish the lesson the way we started, with a rap song, the coolest tool to learn. This is the verb song. See you next time. Bye.
Verbs are action, being, doing words. 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 Have you heard of a word called a verb in a sentence? It's needed to work. Yeah. Let's focus and work for a second, cause verbs are being, doing words. Yeah. Lights, camera, action in a sentence. Find the action word. Yeah. If you can, then you can discover the 3 different forms of verb. Modal. Can, can't, could, may, might, would, mustn't. Auxiliary. Is, am, was, were, has, had, does, did. Main. Sing, spin, think, drink, dance, shake, and freeze. Wait. Now you know about verbs, let's do it again. Have you heard of a word called a verb in a sentence? It's needed to work. Yeah. Let's focus and work for a second, cause verbs are being, doing words. Yeah. Lights, camera, action in a sentence. Find the action word. Yeah. If you can, then you can discover the 3 different forms of verbs. Yeah.